Hello everyone, today we have new video review, and as you can see, this time we are going to talk about fresh release from Eduard. It's a limited edition kit in 1/72 scale, and the name might be familiar to you because it's named as Adlerangriff. So I hope you remember our previous review. We reviewed the bigger scale release. Now we have a smaller scale release, but it's a still limited edition. It's a dual combo, and we have a final sample, so it means you will get exactly the same stuff as what you'll see in this nice box in our video review. So first of all, you might wonder where this let's say 1/72 scale BF109E comes from, because this limited edition was dedicated to E version of the BF109, and Eduard does not have such a kit in their, let's say, collection. So the small hint is that it is based on a special hobby plastic, so that's why we have a 1/72 scale plastic here, and it might be familiar to you because we reviewed some of the releases from special hobby, but now we have them in this limited edition release. So first of all, I have to say that box art is, I would say, traditional for Eduard. It looks cool, and here, by the way, you can see comparison with my hand. Next, on the side here, you'll find some marking options which are included here, and there is a really huge choice of marking options, and not to lie to you, I have to check it here. So we have 13 marking options. By the way, here you can see some information about the kit. Of course, it is made in Czech Republic, and it's a collector's item, not a toy. And here, by the way, you can see some other marking options, also full list of the marking options which are included, and some features. So here you can see also that we have 2 sets of resin wheels included, and you can copy BF109E 1, 3, 4 all in 1/72 scale with aircraft which participated in the Battle of Britain. So this is a top opening box, and here is what we have inside. So all frames are packed into the same plastic bag, and because this is a dual combo, I guess there is no need to show the same stuff again and again. By the way, here we have quite an interesting thing. We have resin pilot figure, so I guess we can start with it and then gradually we'll move on to other things. And I have to say that I'm seeing something different. So we'll check when we'll see the gray plastic sprues. First, let me show you this pilot figure. So this is a 1/72 scale pilot figure. As you can see, it is casted as a single piece part. It's a typical Brasin release, and it looks really cool, so there is nothing to complain about. It's just a matter of careful painting and weathering, and you get a, I would say, nice addition for your aircraft. Now I'm going to open this plastic bag, because from what I see on this sprues, it is a bit different from what we have in a special hobby release. So just give me a second. I guess they decided to change it a bit in order to get some additional features, but we will see it further in this video review. So give me a second to take everything out. Now a few parts broken off, so now I'm trying to catch them. Okay, I think I got them. Okay, so what actually broke off is the clear sprue, and frankly speaking, this is a really surprising thing for Eduard, because usually they pack it into the separate plastic bag, but here you saw it was packed together with gray plastic sprues. So that's why we have broken parts here, and I mean, they are not broken as a damaged, they're just broken off the sprue, so no worries. And molding quality seems to be fine. I don't see any possible molding issues, so it's just a matter of careful assembly. And of course we have masks, I hope, because usually, yeah, limited editions from Eduard, they feature masks and they are pre-cut, so basically they're ready to be used. And no, so plastic comes from special hobby, even though at first I was, let's say, confused because of the slightly different color. We are used to see a light gray color from special hobby. Here you can see that it is more of a dark gray, I would say, but still it looks great. Maybe I'll open the lenses a bit. And here on the first sprue you can see fuselage parts. So we have 2 fuselage halves, we have 3 wing parts, we also have engine, just like in the original release. We also have 1 piece cowling and tail wings. So let's zoom in and take a closer look. So here, for example, you can see wing parts, and external features, they look really impressive for this scale. It means we get recessed panel lines and rivets. Note also these features in the wing roots. It's also quite a cool thing to have. And next we continue with separate ailerons. Here we have separate rudder and fuel tank, which should be assembled out of 2 halves. Next, here is another fuselage half. And also some cowling parts here, as I said before. So these are actually aileron parts. What we saw before were flaps and engine parts here. So let's flip it over. Inside in the fuselage halves you will find guiding elements and also some minor features for the cockpit walls. The same on the opposite side obviously. And here on the wing parts we have let's say minor features implemented for the top on the top wing half for main wheel wells, and note also wing edges, they will serve as a guiding elements. And these tail wings, they look really cool. I mean, in 1/72 scale to get all these features, it's really impressive. And it shows actually what modern molding technologies can give you. And I mean, I'm happy that Special Hobby decided to use all the, let's say, modern tech available and implemented in such, let's say, important kit, because I mean, yes, everybody can say that there are a lot of BF109, but it's always a space for improvement, so it's good to see that they decided not to release just another kit, they decided to improve it in such small scale. So here we continue with the second and the last sprue, which will be needed for assembly of one aircraft. Here we have mix of various parts, so I suggest we start straight away with this corner. So here you can see landing gear legs, also landing gear wheels, which will be replaced with resin parts, as you remember. We will check them in a minute. Next, we continue with some minor elements for engine and cockpit. You also can see the pilot seat, front wing slats, propeller hubs, there are 3 of them. And what else? Here we have some cowling parts. Again, another front wing slat, another landing gear wheel, some engine support frames, and here, by the way, you can see propeller, so it is attached on one attachment point, but we still have a small amount of flash on the propeller blade edges, but that's not a serious issue in my opinion, so it will be easy to tackle. And here, by the way, you can see everything from the opposite side. So here, for example, you can check this pilot seat, if camera will be kind enough to focus. No, so maybe just like this you can see it. Okay. And I really wonder, well, I think CMK actually has the upgrades for the cockpit, so that's why I don't think we will see any resin upgrades from Eduard for this part of aircraft, but still it's really cool to have it. And next we continue with landing gear wheels. So they are actually covering the main wheels. So let's zoom in, because this is a 1/72 scale landing gear wheels. They're not that huge, and here you can take a closer look. They look really nice, and they feature some, let's say, pre-casted features which are not present on original plastic parts, so they will be a noticeable upgrade. And I suppose that there are also masks included for them, so let's check it. And yes, I do see some pre-cut masks, circular ones for landing gear wheels. I will show masks in a second. Here they are, if camera will be smart enough to focus on them. As you can see, it's yeah. So now you should be able to see that these masks are covering canopy and also landing gear wheels, which is really good because it will speed up the overall painting process, and it will help you to focus on more important things. Next we continue with PE parts, and now I'm trying to find any differences, if there are any. But from what I see, they are absolutely identical, so that's why I will show you only one PE thread. There is no need to show the same stuff again and again, obviously. So here we have pre-painted parts for the cockpit. We also have some parts for external features. For example, here you can see radiator meshes, which is also cool in 1/72 scale. That's something you shouldn't be underestimating, because it will be a noticeable addition. Next, we continue with decals. So they are packed into the separate plastic bag, and they're printed in Eduard. So straight away I can say that printing quality is really nice. And actually we have 3 decal sheets because 2 are dedicated to the stencils. Here you can see them. Let's close the lenses so that it won't be that bright and you can see all the symbols here. And stencils look great, but in 1/72 scale it will be a bit tedious thing to apply them, but do not be lazy, apply them all because your model will only benefit from that. And next we continue with the, let's say, main decals sheet. This one is, let's say, a bit bigger. And you can also notice that we have a clever segmentation here, which is really useful feature because you can just cut out the necessary section for your marking option and use all the necessary symbols from this section. And it's really handy design because it will help you get all the necessary symbols without having to cut through just for taking small, let's say, sign and placing it on the aircraft. By the way, note that we also have decals for the cockpit. That's something what might be handy for modelers who do not use PE parts. In my opinion, that would be really strange, but there are some people like that, so maybe they will be happy, who knows. Next, we continue with the assembly manual. So this one is printed in form of large brochure. You can see that we have the same cover art as on the box. Next, we continue with a short history note. As far as you can see, it's written in English. And it's really handy addition. Here, by the way, we have a history note in Czech. And there are some photos. Here we can see parts map, so only few parts will not be used, which is, I would say, rather surprising, but still they will be handy for your next projects. Assembly process starts with the cockpit. You also assemble the pilot seat with PE parts. The same goes for the instrument panel, but there are 2 assembly options, so you can choose between PE or decals. And also you will have to choose whether you would like to have an open cowling on your model or closed one. As you can see, it will influence the choice of the machine guns. Next, we assemble the engine. And here you have to sand off some original plastic on the cockpit walls if you would like to install the PE parts. Next, we join fuselage halves together. Note that exhaust stacks, they will be installed from inside. Then you install some cowling panels. That's, I guess, for the closed version. Then you start working on the main wing. Here we install wing mechanization and also air intakes. You assemble canopy parts. Obviously you can open the canopy because we have separate parts. There is a pilot figure, by the way. And here we have a landing gear installation. Again, you have to cut off the original plastic and replace it with PE parts. Here you can see masking guide for landing gear wheels and canopy. First marking option comes from Germany, June 1940. Here we continue with another one, France, June 1940. One more from July 1940. The same date, and also it is from France. As you can see, we have Mickey here. Next, we continue with France, August 1940. Quite an interesting camouflage, by the way. Here we have 2 marking options from August and September 1940, also based in France. Surprise, surprise. 2 more aircraft, again August and September 1940, yellow-nosed aircraft, which hints that they were also participating or flying on the Eastern Front. Here we continue with more aircraft from France and September 1940. And what else? So here we continue with 2 more, again October and also October 1940 in France. And I'm a bit confused why we have the German writing here. So I'm trying to understand. Oh, so it's something, as you can see, connected with operations which were conducted during this time. I just noticed it, to be honest. And here we continue with the stenciling guide for this aircraft. So even though this is a small scale release, still you get some interesting, not interesting, but useful writings for this aircraft. And in small scale, it's also a good thing to add, so do not be lazy. Again, I will repeat myself. So this kit should be already available. You can get it on official Eduard website. And of course, I will be happy to hear your opinion about such release. Do not forget to write it here in the comment section below. If you like this video, press the like button, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and I will see you in the next video review as usual. Thank you for joining me today, and bye!